Hello and welcome. If you've been following the news lately, you've probably seen the headlines swirling around the Bank of Baroda. So let's dive straight into this explainer and look at the facts behind the July 2026 data leak, calmly and clearly. My goal today is to walk you through exactly what the sources are saying, completely stripping away the sensationalism. We're going to make sure you understand exactly what happened and, more importantly, how you can protect yourself.
Is my bank account safe? Honestly, this is the immediate question on every customer's mind right now. And it's completely natural to feel concerned when you hear the words data leak and your bank in the exact same sentence. So let's just cut through the noise. We're going to look at the actual evidence from the reports, focusing purely on the facts, not the fear. To get to the bottom of this, we'll follow a pretty straightforward agenda today. First, we'll look at the 2026 data leak itself. Second, the crucial difference between a data breach and a transaction breach. Third, RBI rules and your protection. Fourth, the crucial steps you need to take. And finally, the bigger security picture.
Let's start right in with Section 1, the 2026 data leak.
So here's what went down. In the last week of July 2026, reports started emerging that a massive amount of data, we're talking approximately 1 terabyte, associated with the Bank of Baroda, was suddenly available for free on the dark web. According to cybersecurity researchers, a relatively new suspected hacking group known as XXX is believed to be behind this. Although, to be fair, no one has officially claimed public responsibility for it just yet.
Now, what's really interesting here is the sheer scope of that 1 terabyte of data. It wasn't just your basic customer identifiers. The exposed data reportedly included highly sensitive customer info like names, Aadhaar numbers, and details regarding savings, current, and loan accounts. But it actually went further than that. It also included internal bank documents. We're talking branch audit reports, vigilance investigation files, internal communications, and even audit reports for their mobile app, BobWorld.
This whole situation was brought to wider attention by a cybersecurity researcher named Srikanth Lakshmanan. He actually found the live link, verified sample files, and immediately escalated the issue, notifying the Reserve Bank of India, the Bank of Baroda, and the IT Ministry. Honestly, his swift action was absolutely crucial in bringing this incident to light so that the regulatory bodies could step in and begin their assessments right away.
Moving on to Section 2, Data versus Transaction Breach.
This part is so important. To understand the real threat to your money, I want you to think of it this way. A data breach is essentially like someone photocopying the bank's customer directory. They get names, Aadhaar numbers, and account details. A transaction breach, on the other hand, is like someone actually breaking into the physical bank vault, gaining direct control over the payment systems to move money around. The reports clearly indicate that what happened here was the first scenario. It was a data breach, not a breach of the actual transaction system.
And this is completely backed up by the Bank of Baroda's official statement. They confirmed that a cyber incident did indeed occur, and it stemmed from a compromised employee email account, which is what allowed that unauthorized access to certain data. However, they explicitly stated that their core banking infrastructure remains totally unaffected. There's a forensic investigation currently underway, but as of right now, there is zero evidence that attackers have direct access to your actual funds.
So the crucial takeaway here is that while your money wasn't stolen directly from the bank servers, this exposed data does equip scammers to launch some highly convincing, personalized attacks against you. Because they might know your name, your loan details, or your specific account type, they can call you up pretending to be bank staff and sound incredibly legitimate. The real immediate threat here is phishing, identity theft, and social engineering tricks designed to get you to hand over your OTP or PIN.
Which brings us to Section 3, RBI rules and customer protection.
So, what actually happens if the worst occurs? Well, the Reserve Bank of India has a customer protection framework built specifically for these exact scenarios. Under their zero-liability guidelines, if a fraud happens because of a third-party breach, meaning a leak from a source other than you, and you report that unauthorized transaction promptly, you bear no financial loss. You are protected. However, that safety net does require your active vigilance. The RBI constantly reminds customers of one absolute golden rule. Never, ever share your login credentials, PIN, OTP, or card details. It literally does not matter how official the caller sounds, or even if they read back your Aadhaar number or loan details to quote-unquote verify themselves. A real bank will never ask for your OTP or PIN over the phone. Ever.
Okay, Section 4, Crucial Steps for Customers.
Based on advisories from India's cybersecurity agency, CERT-In, and various independent security experts,
Here is a calm, highly effective, step-by-step checklist for you. First, just go ahead and change your net banking and mobile app passwords, especially if you use that same password somewhere else. Second, enable multi-factor authentication wherever it's available. Third, make sure your SMS and email transaction alerts are turned on so you see any movement immediately. And fourth, take just a few minutes today to review your recent account activity.
Finally, Section 5, the bigger security picture.
Looking at the broader landscape, Indian institutions across banking, telecom, and fintech are constantly battling cyber threats. For context, the Bank of Baroda faced a separate issue back in 2023 where some agents used unauthorized numbers to onboard accounts to the Bob World app, which actually led to an RBI intervention. Now, while that 2023 incident is entirely distinct from this 2026 email compromise, it does highlight an ongoing, systemic need for really robust digital security across all our financial platforms.
The ultimate takeaway from all of these sources, the bank statements, the researchers, the RBI guidelines, is reassurance. Legal and cybersecurity experts all agree there is absolutely no need for panic and definitely no need to hastily close your accounts. As long as you simply tighten your personal digital security and stay really alert for scam calls, you're in a strong position. Stay alert, not alarmed.
I'll leave you with this final empowering question. Have you enabled multi-factor authentication on your banking apps yet? Are you relying on just a single password to protect your finances? Or will you take 5 minutes to activate that extra layer of defense today? Taking control of your own security settings is the absolute best response to news like this. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and please stay safe online.